Hi, and welcome back to another episode of That's the V, where we talk about fashion, fashion people, and opportunities in the industry. Today's outfit is inspired by laziness, but keeping it cool and edgy. I really didn't feel like dressing up today. Um, but I still want to look fashionable for this, always, because it's a fashion podcast. So this is me not trying, but trying a little bit. So if you're seeing the YouTube version of this video, you'll see the outfit. If you're listening, it's very much an all black jacket, edgy fits. Anyway, this episode is focused on Paris Fashion Week, fall winter 2026 season, and just kind of like my favorite highlights of the season thus far. Because I know Paris Fashion Week isn't over when I'm releasing this episode, and from what I've seen so far, though, I just really want to talk about like the moments that need attention, I think, during this season, and things that I feel like people don't really talk about. And I know I talked about it in like Haute Couture, Paris Fashion Week, and I just think Paris and the fashion industry is always such a speechless moment. I mean, there's so much going on, and it's like the top of the fashion industry. And before I got into fashion, but like really fashion, not just like the visual side of things, more of like the history behind these creative directors and designers. Like, I wish I had like a platform I could see or hear more about these fashion things. So if you love fashion as much as I do, I hope this is super interesting because it's just kind of like facts I've gathered for you. And my first designer I want to talk about, Dior, with Jonathan Anderson's creative direction. To be honest, I don't know if I'm going to get hate for this or not, but Jonathan Anderson for Dior had not really done anything for me personally. I know a lot of people love him, and like, I don't know, the past collections I just wasn't as moved, but this one collection for fall winter season 2026, it was just beautiful. Like, beautiful in every aspect, in the sense of the invitations to the set, to the actual designs. I like shared a whole story about it in my personal page. If you're following me there, you saw it. But basically, he got his inspiration from like a very traditional Parisian park where they have green chairs. So his invitations were literally these miniature replicas of the green chairs in the park. And the whole park set for the runway had that same green all around, and even the designs had this like lake inspiration on every piece, from like lily pad shoes to like a frog bag, like very cute and very like story oriented. And I love like when it all makes sense together. I'm just like obsessed with that, and I think he did such a great job like keeping his essence in the designs, but creating something new and something lovely, 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 and also like ready to wear. Like I would wear honestly like 90% of the pieces that were on that runway. Oh my gosh, but yes, Dior did so much for me this season and I can't wait. Now I'm like really excited to see what's next. I feel like I'm finally like, okay, he has my attention. Now I don't want to let go. And now I'm really excited. But I mean, this is just a personal opinion. And then another very important like fashion fun fact that I loved this season with YSL. I love that they celebrated the 60th anniversary of basically the women's tailored suit. So when Yves Saint Laurent was alive, he was basically the first designer to make a tailored suit for women that was more of like something more commercial, something more high end, and something like that was more shoppable rather than women having suits tailored. Like I know Chanel would have suits tailored, but it wasn't like a thing. And just thinking how it's been 60 years since women got kind of more edgy and independent and celebrating that through fashion. I love it. I mean, I love a good woman's suit, like a blazer, throw it on and just make an outfit out of your jeans and a t-shirt. That's my favorite thing to do. So I loved that moment. Another really cool moment, Stella McCartney having actual horses on her runway. And I mean, it was like more of like a dirt arena. So the horses were in the middle, the models were walking around them. And the fact that Stella McCartney is very animal right driven, her collection really reinforced her commitment to animal free luxury as always, but having this runway with real horses on them, it just really ties the brand and her name and everything she stands for together. And I love when designers do that. Like it's such an inspiring thing, I think. But that was just another of my favorite moments. I think another very iconic moment for Paris Fashion Week was Pieter Mulier um, closing his chapter for Alaïa. So he was the creative director, and this was his last collection, and now he will be creative directing for Versace, which is such a drastic change, but I think it's really exciting, really cool, such a big fashion house. So I'm really excited to see what he's going to do there because with Alaïa, I think he just really brought the brand like to life. Like he like really kept the essence of it and brought attention to it. So let's see what happens. Another little fashion fun fact. I should call this like a triple F. I'm gonna call them another triple F. Make it a thing. Let's see if it sticks. But anyway, um, I also like posted about Chloé on the That's the V podcast Instagram and how like the creative designer Chimena, she just really brought back the essence of the boho vibes to Chloé. I think Chloé has a really big history of that. So I really kind of left that on there for you guys to see and read because for me to say anything, I really don't have a lot to say, but I wanted to talk about it because I thought the designs were beautiful and gorgeous, and Chloe is just very such like a girly chic brand. Very cute. A brand I really do want to talk about, though, that I did not post because I just saw the show or it just happened today. I'm recording this Thursday, March 5th. But Schiaparelli, I love Schiaparelli. I am obsessed. I talked about it in their Haute Couture debut last season, and I will talk about them again and again because they are just such a unique, standout brand with like surrealism and history and just attention grabbing details that I feel like are still so gorgeously married to the outfit and attire, and it doesn't look weird for some reason, but they're like these pendants and like eyes on clothing and the gold, and I love it. I like love that like little something that pops on your garment that makes people stare and like a conversation starter. So yes, I mean, Schiaparelli, for what I saw, like this season was a lot about like snails and like more like creatures on the clothing. I mean, as always, there's like a story behind it, but I will need to read more about it to make a post. So as of now, I'm just gonna say that they did it again. And Danielle Roseberry being the creative director since 2019, I believe. I think he's been doing such an amazing job. The brand originally started by Elsa Schiaparelli, and it's always had that surrealist vibe. She even worked with Dali, Salvador Dali, the painter. He's one of my favorite painters as well. So I just love the art world coming into the fashion world and just have like wearable art. I think the fashion industry is more important than what people make it seem. Like there's politics, there's actual artists involved from like history. And I mean, even talking about the suit for women and how that just became part of more of like an independent symbol. I think it's just such a cool thing. And I will always, I feel like, love it. I don't know honestly where this podcast is going to take me, but for me, talking about fashion is one of my favorite things. So I just hope I can build a fashion lover community and we can conversate and hopefully like have events of some sort. I'm like manifesting this into this video, into this audio. But yeah, I think fashion is about building community and just making a statement and expressing yourself. So Paris Fashion Week definitely did that for me. So I am just very excited for this podcast journey and expressing my passions and answering any questions or like just expressing more about like the facts, the fashion fun facts, the triple F's of the industry. And of course, like interviewing people that are in the industry and how they made it. So if you're into all of this, I hope you've enjoyed it and feel free to message me if there's something you want me to talk about more. I'll literally do that research for you and put it online so you don't have to, because at the end of the day, I just love learning and love the experience I'm getting from this whole like research experience of like finding out how things came to be and then putting them online and spreading them out because I think it's important. I think it's beautiful And if you think so too, then like this video, share it, give it some love. And that's the V on Paris Fashion Week. If you watched or listened until this moment, I appreciate you so much. And I just hope you keep listening to the future videos and podcasts because they're only gonna get better. I promise. Bye. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to follow at That's the V podcast on all platforms for more fashion content. And a big thank you to our sponsor, JAG Premier Advertising Agency. If you're looking to get on platforms like Hulu or Netflix, check out the link in the description.